Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're at the desk today for a quick tutorial video. Going to be taking a look at some Digicam files and trying to make them look more like film by using actual film grain. So not moving the grain sliders in Lightroom, but using actual film scans to do that. Let's jump into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is hit that link in the description and go to filmcomposite.com. This is a free download for 35mm film scans. Super high quality stuff and lots of great film stocks in here. These guys also have motion picture film, so if you're into video, definitely something to take a look at. You can also pop over here to their free assets, and I would just go ahead and go through here and download all this stuff. You've got film frames in here, you got pre-roll, dirt, dust, some color overlays, which are really cool. So grab that stuff and let's hop into Lightroom and I'll show you how to apply this to your photos. The images we're looking at today were shot with the Canon PowerShot SD1400 IS. Hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be doing a long form video on this camera and showing you guys how to unlock raw capture on this camera. All right, so in Lightroom, what I've done is made some basic exposure adjustments and applied my profile. I'm going to be giving this profile away to you guys for free in an upcoming video where I'm going to go more in depth into profiles versus presets and just editing in general. But if you want to take a look at what the profile is doing, that's just before the profile with just the standard, color profile that's built into Adobe, and after. So the profile is doing quite a bit for us here, and then everything else is just, like I said, some standard exposure adjustments. So once you get the edit dialed in like you want it, right click and hit edit in Adobe Photoshop. All right, so now we're going to navigate to our film composite assets and just drag on whichever film scan you like. Hold shift if you need to rotate it. And then we're going to scale it up so that it fills our frame. You can hold shift if you want to, or just drag it over. And then we're going to go up to blend mode and go to overlay. And that's pretty much it, guys. We've just added a real film scan to our Digicam photo, and we've got so much more texture now. But if you notice, if you toggle it on and off, we've got a little bit of a change in exposure. So we can go to adjustments and exposure and just bring that exposure back up a touch. And there we go. I know it's hard to see on YouTube, but if I change the blend mode to hard light, you guys can really see the grain that we're adding on here. You can also use soft light if you just want a bit more of a subtle look. Or you can, of course, just mess with the opacity and bring it down a little bit as well. But I think this looks great. I think it gives it more of a filmic vibe for sure. And you can certainly play around with different film scans and see what works best for your photo. There's one more photo I want to take a look at and try to do something a bit more drastic with our assets from Film Composite. So let's jump back over to Lightroom. And the other photo I want to take a look at is this one here. We'll right click again and go to edit in Adobe Photoshop. All right, we've got our image in Photoshop. Let's go back to some of those assets and I'm going to choose film frame 18. You'll notice it says hard light. So that's the blend mode that it's suggesting we use for this. I'm going to go ahead and drag it on. And this time I'm going to hold shift to make sure that I get it perfectly sized up with my frame since we are using a film frame on this. So let's click over here, blend mode, and go to hard light. And just immediately that looks incredible, before and after. I might do a little exposure adjustment with this. So that's looking pretty good, but I think we can take it a step further. Let's go back into this and maybe do color shift 4. Drag that on. And again, I'm going to hold shift and just size this up for my frame. And then this says blend mode multiply. So let's go ahead and try that. That's looking a little drastic, so I'll just bring down the opacity a bit. Something around there looks pretty good. So if we zoom into this, we've got tons of texture. We've got that film frame that looks really nice. We've got that color shift layer that's also adding some dust and scratches. And I'm just loving how this looks. It's such a vibe. All right, so we just took some photos from this $40 Digicam, and I feel like fairly convincingly made them look like they came from a 35mm film camera. Hope you guys liked today's tutorial. If you did, drop a comment. I love hearing from you. I'll catch you next time.